the intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're starting a new week, and hey, Ferengi, wrapping up. You know what that means. We got to talk about things that got to get better. And let's be fair to Scopely, we got to give them a little bit of pat on the back. They did just do the dev Q&A that might have been the best dev Q&A video we've ever had on this channel, and maybe anywhere. We got like 6.5 good answers. That's an insane ratio. Out of 10 questions, that's like a D grade. You're doing fantastic, Scopely. All the jokes aside, seriously, the dev Q&A was awesome. If you haven't seen it yet, I really encourage you to do so. And we've been talking about it in my Discord all week because they really came through with some great stuff. And building on that, I think it's an opportunity for us to start going into these type of weeks where it's kind of like a break week. We'll do things like Apex and, you know, a little bit of Crucible of War. But more importantly, I think we really need to remind them, twist their arm, if you will, to update certain events. And one of those events I want to talk about today is Swarm Sunday or Threat from Beyond. Now, a lot of players have really gotten used to this being, and I'm talking players like my level or higher, not even being that useful anymore. Now, if you're a newer player like Mommy Beck, I'm sorry. She doesn't like that.
Don't call me mommy.
Beck likes plants. My apologies. Newer players like our content creator Beck that probably still get a great benefit from Threat from Beyond. And remember, at level 28, you actually start getting officer shards in the Threat from Beyond where you get Mara and Khan. Now, I do want to also just reiterate that if you have maxed out these officers, for example, Mara, you will get transporter patterns in the stead of that officer. So no matter what, there's a little bit of value there. The biggest issue, I think, is it feels dated, not just from the officers that are currently present, but also, well, the resources that you're getting and the amount that you're getting. By today's standards, even at level 41, getting 3 million tritanium is really not that big a deal. And I'm not trying to like shake a stick at it and say it's awful, but truthfully, that's not a lot by today's standards. And what we found is as the economy continues to increase, the resources they provide in packs continues to increase. They're doing a lot of updates to the game. One of the things that has to get updated are some of these older events. And this actually was supposed to have gotten updated a year ago. It was promised. Something that, you know, DJ's talked about. And, you know, we actually had that discussion like a month ago, just between ourselves, and even brought that up to the dev team. And DJ brought that up to the dev team again, that this was something that needed to get updated, and it hasn't been. And while getting, you know, a combined, 750 transporter patterns, if you've got, you know, both of these completed and you had Mara max and didn't have Con max, 750 transporter patterns for a day's worth of work, and then a few million tritanium and a little bit of uncommon crystal or rare crystal at the top reward for mine just isn't as good as it feels in others. And here's a great way to compare it. Scroll over to your ticketed events. Now, if I pick, say, this crystal ticketed event, which is running tritanium and which is the main Swarm Sunday, and then uncommons, well, holy snikes, Batman, look at what I'm getting here. 217 uncommon crystal. Look at the amount. I'm getting over 100 million tritanium, which helps with repairs. And one of the biggest complaints for a lot of people in 4-star and 5-star is repair costs are ridiculously higher compared to what people were used to before. You need updates. And that's just one ticket event, mind you. There are others. And even if we want to swap over, let's go over to my level 20 account real quick. Bam, look at the power of the internet. This is my level 21 account. Sorry, I did level up. Let's scroll over. Now, keep in mind that because it's not level 28 yet, I'm not going to see any officer shards in there. But what I will see is very small amounts of tritanium and a few uncommon. Here's why this isn't that impressive anymore. Now, when this first came out, I would say that these amounts were fine, I guess, to an extent. You know, we're always needing uncommon crystal. It's one of the biggest grinds in the game. And at one point, level 20, 21, having, you know, 6, 10 coming in was fine. Once again, let's compare to something of relative, you know, similarity. Ticket events, which are constantly being updated. Look at the vast difference in the amount of uncommons I'm getting for 2 different types, 2-star and 3-star, as well as way more tritanium. We're talking about like a factor of 20. I'm getting more in terms of tritanium. I think it's actually like a factor of 50. I need to go back. I'm just glancing at it. Way more tritanium. I mean, you're talking about swarms being something that we do every day. We encourage it as a daily. It helps you do that dual faction grind and then also you know, in terms of helps you do a faction grind, you're getting more repair speed ups, which can be a huge thing for lower level players needing that, and also helps you finish your dailies in a respectable manner in a quicker time. But this needs an update. It's the resources it's providing really low, the materials it's providing really low, and even to the extent the transporter patterns it's providing are really low. Let me actually expound on the transporter patterns. Swap back to the main account. What do I mean by transporter patterns feel low? Well, as I said, even if you haven't maxed out Khan, this is a great way to start maxing out a rare officer, Mara. For newer players in the game, shout out Beck. That means when you max out a rare, you get these things called transporter patterns, which allow you to trade in patterns for specific officers. There's a list of epic officers in the game. So for each rare, I'm going to get 75 shards. Epics pay out a lot more, but obviously we know maxing out a rare is a heck of a lot easier. So I'm going to get 375 for each one. So combined 750. Sounds like decent. Well, let's go over to our transporter pattern store. We hit officers, go to recruit. And then if you scroll over the right, once you have transporter patterns, you will see this list. Now, when they added new officers, they actually increased the price. 1,100, which I still don't agree with, and this is a pain in my booty to this day. And if you agree that this is a pain in your booty, maybe not literally, but figuratively speaking, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Pass that along. Look, when this first got added, I guess they can justify it. But anyway, it's annoying, and I think that it should get yanked. So here's Giorgio. But generally speaking, the ones that we're going to recommend, especially for newer players, unlocking Pike is absolutely massive. So let's use Pike as an example. 1,000. So basically, if I were to spend at level 28, 30, I've maxed out, and maybe I don't have Pike yet, all day doing my Swarm Sunday, I don't even get enough to do one Pike shard. One Pike shard. That's not enough for a game that is becoming harder and harder to get officers because we're so saturated with them. And there's some great officers out there, but at the end of the day, when you got like 150 officers and you haven't really made sourcing any better, and as many players will go ahead and continue to reiterate to Scopely, this PvP ultra rotational they're doing for phase 2 is not that great. It needs to be improved. The price needs to go down to the regular price since it's not static and lasting forever. I can understand a price being higher if it was the next generation crew permanently here, but it's not. You're rotating it, so put it at a normal price. But all that aside, you know, you're looking at things like the Federation recruit has not been updated. Federation officers, we have a heck of a lot more than this not being updated, so can't use this to do it, but I can click the button, turn in 500, and what do I get? Skip 225 transporter patterns for some random rare that I had. You know, what if I come into a Rami? Let me do a 3,000 pull, which everybody who does their factions can generally buy that 3,000 at one time. Let's go open up 975. So just by doing that, one time a day, I got more from transporter patterns by doing my Romulan through max shards than going through an event that requires me to kill 75 hostiles. That is a lot of time. Even if we did a rough, like, you know, we could do every 5 seconds, which I guess is not terrible. It's the same math as doing, you know, Mara shards. 375. So if we did 375 seconds, you're looking at that being, you know, several minutes of pure grinding with no problems. And that's every 5 seconds getting a hit. That doesn't count the ticket events that you had today. That doesn't count the, you know, eclipse hunting you had to do today. It doesn't count the anomalous phenomenon. Swarm Sundays is a loaded day. And to increase the rewards we're getting will justify the use of this event and the participation in this event. Many things have started to kind of get fallen behind. And as the game updates, it can't forget old mechanics. It has to update those mechanics. And Swarm Sunday is in desperate need of an update. And what's worse is it got part of an update that was only half of an update. It got the Franklin A, which is fantastic. The Franklin A is a great chip. I actually need to finish repairing mine because I was using it earlier. But the Franklin A was a fantastic chip, allowing you to get biominerals. And maybe that's part of their argument that, hey, the biominerals make up for some of the resources you're not getting. I don't agree with that. I think that should be completely separate. But even if that is the case, it doesn't change the fact that the officer shards being provided aren't enough. And number two, the uncommons. If I'm getting more uncommons from other events, what incentivizes me to participate in Swarm Sunday? And at the end of the day, point number 3, the biggest point, a year ago, they promised an update. So update it. I want to know what you think about this video. Like if you agree. looks like a thumb. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the little bell. Stay tuned for other Star Trek Fleet Command content and Star Trek content in general on this channel. That's what we're here for. Doing it for you. And then finally, just a reminder, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we are live on Twitch. Come and check us out. Twitch.tv/RevDeuce. It's good stuff. And let me know what you think about needing to update Swarm Sunday and the points that I made in this video down below. As always, live long and prosper. Stay safe for those Space Cowboys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for support. Me, my family, and all the other content creators. Y'all are amazing. Deuces. That's me. Catch you on the next one.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.